Hello, and thank you for joining us for this particular episode. Today, we will be talking about growing vegetables throughout the dry season, which will be the theme of our conversation. You are undoubtedly already aware of the potential difficulties that come with gardening and farming during dry periods. Maintain the vitality and hydration of your plants in spite of the reduced amount of rainfall. However, even during the dry season, it is possible to cultivate a wide range of crops. To get this conversation started, let's talk about the best vegetables for growing when there is a dry spell. Some of the options include the following. Because squash plants have such large leaves, they are able to cast some shade on the ground, which, in turn, aids in maintaining the soil's moisture level by preventing it from drying up. Because of their extensive roots, which are able to access water and nutrients, they are able to live in arid environments. Okra is a delicious and nutritious vegetable that grows well in hot, dry regions and is an excellent source of fiber. In addition to this, it is resistant to drying out when exposed to dry environments. Eggplants are another hardy crop that may be able to flourish in dry areas due to its extensive root systems and ability to withstand high temperatures. Tomatoes. Despite the fact that tomatoes have high water requirements, it is possible for tomatoes to endure the dry season and even thrive if they are given the appropriate care. The appropriate degree of focus and attention. You should apply mulch to the soil so that moisture may be retained for longer, and you should water the plants frequently and thoroughly. Now that we've discussed the best veggies to grow during the dry season, let's move on to discussing how to tend to your plants so that they thrive. The following is a list of some suggestions. During the dry season, it is best to water deeply and infrequently rather than often and shallowly. Therefore, you should ensure that your veggies receive an adequate amount of water. Because of this, the plant's roots will be able to develop deeply and robustly, allowing them to continue their search for water and nutrients even when the ground is dry. Utilizing mulch is an excellent method for preventing weed growth and maintaining the soil's moisture level. Always keep in mind to give your plants some water. Wood chips and straw are two examples of organic materials that can be used as mulch on the ground where your plants will be standing. Before you start planting, there are a few things you need to keep in mind if you want to cultivate nutritious vegetables throughout the dry season. In order for these plants to reach their maximum potential, they need to be exposed to sunshine for a minimum of 6 to 8 hours each day. When it comes to watering your dry season crops, drip irrigation is a strategy that is both efficient and successful. It does this by transporting water directly to the area of the plant's root zone where it may be utilized most efficiently, hence contributing to the conservation of water. What methods result in the greatest savings when compared to others when it comes to watering plants? Drip irrigation makes use of tubes and emitters, which allows water to reach plant roots more effectively while reducing the amount of water that is lost to evaporation. Drip irrigation is a sort of micro-irrigation, which is a form of micro-drip irrigation that delivers water to specific areas of a garden or farm by utilizing microscopic tubes and emitters. It is feasible to reduce the expense of irrigation by collecting rainwater and storing it in a tank or cistern for use during the months when there is a lack of precipitation. A tried and true method that is known as mulching involves spreading a layer of mulch over the soil that surrounds plants. This helps to retain moisture and reduces the likelihood of weeds growing in the area. Water that is lost by evaporation, which results in a reduced demand for watering. For more manageable gardens and farms, watering plants by hand is an option that will save money but will take more time. The use of recycled water from interior sources such as bathtubs, washing machines, and sinks as an alternative to conventional means of irrigating plants can be a cost-effective and ecologically beneficial way to water plants, provided that the water is pure enough to be reused. Methods of irrigation that are efficient and cost-effective for farming in areas prone to drought. To get started, you need to sit down and carefully map out the particulars of your irrigation system, such as its dimensions and placement. Consider factors such as the size of your farm, the animals you keep, and the crops you grow. What sorts of crops you plan to grow and what kinds of water resources are available to you are important questions to answer before starting a farm. When choosing an irrigation system, it is important to first determine the precise watering needs of your property and then proceed from there. There are a few different types of irrigation that can be used, including drip irrigation, sprinkler irrigation, and flood irrigation. It is necessary to select the appropriate irrigation tools. For example, if you plan to use a drip irrigation system, you will require drip lines, emitters, and a pressure regulator. The irrigation system needs to be installed in accordance with the manufacturer's instructions. Be sure to secure all of the necessary permits and to comply with any and all laws that are in effect in the local area. Create a plan for watering that takes into account both the requirements of your crops and the available water. Monitor the system on a consistent basis in order to look for any errors or problems. Both mulch, which can assist retain water, and moisture sensors, which can help you avoid watering your plants when they don't need it, can help you save water. Make it a routine practice to inspect your irrigation system on a regular basis and repair or replace any components that are damaged or worn. This will ensure that it is effective while also extending the amount of time it may be used. If you keep these suggestions in mind while you work in your garden during the dry season, you will have no trouble growing a diverse selection of vegetables. In addition to this, you should lay down some mulch, position your plants in the ideal location, ensure that they receive consistent watering, and consider adding a drip irrigation system. Utilizing appropriate. Even when the weather is dry, it is possible to keep a garden in good condition with the appropriate amount of care and attention. We are grateful for the time you have taken to read this. If you adhere to these instructions, cultivating vegetables throughout the dry season should not provide any challenges for you. If you like this video and want to see more that are similar to it, please subscribe to our channel.